Whatever you like yourself, Mr. Sorden.
Thank you very much,
Perhaps you'd ask your customers if they'd have a drink with me.
Mr. Dolan would like to buy you both a drink.
It's very kind of him. I'll have the same again, please.
Right. And you, George?
I've got one.
Well, it looks like just Bill and me then, sir, if you don't mind.
Yes, thank you.
There you are, Bill. I'll just top up, sir. Cheers.
Good health. Didn't I see you at the meeting today?
That's right. I thought I'd just call in and hear what you had to say.
I hope you thought there was some good sense in it.
Well, that depends on where you live and what you need.
Mr. Hare comes from Cold Harbour Colony.
Oh, I see. That's something of a special problem, isn't it?
They all say that, but they do very little about it.
Well, don't you think the best thing we can do for this area is to give people more choice?
Such as what?
Such as push the new town scheme through so there'll be new houses and more jobs.
What with the new houses and new jobs if you're just going to fill them up with them folk from the Kingsport slums?
It is a joint scheme, Mr. Hare. The South Riding will have its fair allocation of everything that's planned.
And fill your pockets at the same time.
I beg your pardon?
You heard what I said. See a few pickings here and you're down on the place like a flock of carrion crows.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Steady on, George.
Steady on, be damned. If nobody else will tell him, I will. I think you've got a bloody cheek coming down here and standing against a man in his own village.
Does Mr. Khan own the village?
Enough of it.
Does he own the people that live here? I mean, have they no right to vote as they choose?
They've got a right to vote for an honest man. And we all know who sent you here.
You do. And he knows the kind of things Mr. Khan's been saying about him, and if I were you, I really shouldn't be tempted to repeat them in a public place.
I speak my mind.
It can cost you dear, though, if you're not sure of your facts. Do you know that Alderman Snaith is taking legal action in respect to Mr. Khan's allegations? Did you know that he was asking damages in the sum of £10,000?
I'll tell you this, Mr. Dolan. There's not one of you. And you can sue me for this if you like. There's not one of you. You, or that Snaith, or him either, are fit to clean Khan's boots. And all the talking in the world won't alter that. Yes.
Well, I'm sorry if I've lost your customer for the evening, Mr. Sorden.
Oh, he'll be back tomorrow. He's a bit prickly on that subject, is George. He was only saying he's been with Khan for 40 years.
Well, I admire his loyalty. Where does that leave democracy when people can't choose, but are supposed to accept what's been handed down for generations? No, Mr. Sorden, I think the public is finally beginning to see that it just won't do.
You know, it's in my mind that they should put this funeral off till tomorrow.
Nay, Castle's a big chap. It stink.
What, in his coffin? Well, there's plenty of them last 3 days and longer.
Mrs. Castle wanted him put away today. And you know what Nature's like once he makes his mind up?
I know.
What I wish is that he'd have put a few more posters up. Young fella Dolan's got on plastered every wall. And they like a bit of paper in village.
And since when has Khan got to advertise to his own neighbours?
I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. My last peg's walking out in that Brimsley. And Mrs. Brimsley's sort of mother-in-law put grey whiskers on cats. And they do say that she's treating old Barney Holly at the shacks. And if they start building the housing estate at Kingsport, he'll get a job. And maybe an house. And she'll wed him. Then my lass can have Nat and move on to Cold Harbour.
Oh, what's that got to do with it?
Why, just this. Khan's out to stop them built, isn't he? And when he does stop them, there's no new house for Mrs. Brimsley. And she won't wed him because she won't go to the shacks. And if she don't go somewhere, our house is no place for me, with our peg as sick as a mule, and that round every night, mucking kitchen up, so there's no place for me to sit for them canoodling.
Oh, I know not about that. But what I do know is that it's not right. That Snaith is a dirty snake in the grass. And if Dolan's got anything to do with him, then he's no better.
How are you getting on?
Oh, just about finished, sir.
Good.
Yeah, they got to be thrown away.
Go on.
It's too late, George. He'll get in.
You're 10.
It's all over the district. Snaith's action will ruin Khan, even if Khan can prove what he says. And they're saying Snaith can sue and get him disqualified for this lot as well, giving a free feast to the village on election day.
I said, I will take heed to my ways, that I offend not in my tongue. I will keep my mouth, as it were, with a bridle, while the ungodly is in my sight. My heart was hot within me, and while I was thus musing, the fire kindled, and at last I spake with my tongue. Lord, let me know mine end, and the number of my days, that I may be certified how long I have to live. Hear my prayer, O Lord, with thine ears consider my calling. Hold not thy peace at my tears. For I am a stranger with thee, and a sojourner, as all my fathers were.